as we all know, after MSc, this is the only admission or the entrance test that you have to give for entering into PhD in the ICR system. जो एग्जामिनर होता है उनके पास पहले सिलेबस पहुंचता है and from that syllabus only they will set the paper. So you should at least know what topics are there in your syllabus. So this part is very important. अगर आपने वो कोर्स किया है, this will be a bit easy for you. अगर नहीं किया है, so I would suggest you start reading this part very thoroughly. In our course that we are offering in through Agraric Academy, I will be taking that specially, and this is one of my most favorite portions. So I think you will enjoy learning it, because if you are already a master's, if you are already a postgraduate, it is expected from you that you will have a working knowledge of statistics, because आपने already अपना thesis लिख दिया है. Almost 99% of the syllabus is coinciding, same, एकदम same. अब तक हमने जो पढ़ के आया सिलेबस में, ASRB नेट के सिलेबस में भी वो सब है, along with some addition. वो एडिशन के बारे में हम बात करेंगे. This one, I can promise you, we will take extremely good care of this part, and this part we will go very deep and we will learn all the principles. And then this is like the original gangster of all agriculture books. I think all of you know this, Nimraj Sundar. This also. Okay, so future prospects, I think all of you know. ASRB नेट से क्या होगा, PhD करके क्या होगा, क्यों करना है PhD, if you want to stay in academics. So hello everyone. Welcome to today's videos of A to Z details of ICR PhD and ASRB NET exam for the subject of soil sciences. So this year, this course on behalf of Agraric Academy will be handled by me. Here you can see I have secured All India rank of 5 in the ICR PG examination and All India rank of 9 in the ICR PhD. And in the last ASRB NET that happened in 2025, I qualified it with 66% marks, and I wrote the ARS mains also. So moving on, so first we'll talk about the exam pattern of the ICR JRF SRF, that is the admission test for PhD examination. Yes, as we all know, after MSc, this is the only admission or the entrance test that you have to give for entering into PhD in the ICR system, be it any SAU, be it IRI, be it the deemed universities like NDRI, IVRI and all. This is the only examination. So today we will talk about A to Z details of this examination as well as ASRB NET also, and we will talk about what we are going to provide for this next year and what we will deal with. All right. So first we'll talk about the exam pattern of the PhD entrance examination, that is the ICR, AIC, JRF and SRF exam. So here you can see the mode of examination is land-based CBT. All right. It is a computer-based test. I think all of you know by now. You must have written the JRF also, the ICR PG examination, that is also the same. Then the duration is same as JRF or the same as ICR PG examination, that is 2 hours. There will be 2 hours, and the number of questions is 120. Up to this is the same as the ICR PG examination, which you have already appeared for, and we are already doing your MSc. But the difference comes from now. Like in your ICR PG examination paper, you will get 120 questions directly. There will be no division. But here you can see the question 120s are divided into 3 parts. All right. It is divided into 3 parts: Part A, Part B, and Part C. The Part A will consist of 20 questions. Then the Part B will consist of 50 questions, and the Part C will consist of another 50 questions. So total is 120 questions, but it is divided into 3 parts. But it is divided into 3 parts, all right? So the Part A will consist of general knowledge and reasoning ability questions, all right? So the Part A will mostly form of general knowledge, general agriculture and reasoning ability questions. The Part B will consist of the core group. It is of the core group. About this we will talk in the later slides, don't worry. So it is related to the subject opted by the candidate for PhD, and Part C is the specialized subject opted by the candidate for the PhD. That is the subject that you want to give your, like you want to do your PhD or you have done your MSc, that specific core group subject that will consist of Part C. Okay. The type of questions, all of you know, it will be multiple choice question with 4 options. Only single type of question will be there. In that, only one option will be correct for every question. There is no multiple option correct ones. Only single option will be correct out of 4 options. The maximum marks is again 480, because each question will consist of 4 marks for correct answer, minus 1 mark for each incorrect response, that is negative is there, and 0 for non-attempt. And another thing is the medium of the paper will be English only. This is same for ICAR PG also. You will not have any bilingual options. The medium will be English only. All right, I think it is clear until now. So moving on, what is the eligibility for appearing in the ICAR PhD entrance? In this, there is kind of confusion among some people, so we will clear it out definitely. So the eligibility criteria for appearing in the ICAR PhD entrance is you have to have agriculture, horticulture with specialization in soil science and agricultural chemistry, agricultural physics with specialization in soil physics, and soil water conservation engineering, water science and technology. So if you have done your MSc in all of these, in either of these subjects, like either of these subjects, be it soil science and agricultural chemistry, be it agricultural physics with specialization in soil physics, be it soil and water conservation engineering or water science and technology, in whatever you have done your master degree, you can appear for the PhD entrance for soil sciences, the core group soil sciences. All right. And additional eligibility qualification at bachelor's level for only for IRI and NDRI, it can be 10 plus 2 plus 3 system. What does this mean? This means, all of you know, when we are the agriculture graduates, that is BSc Honours Agriculture, that is a 10 plus 2 plus 4 system, right? We have done 4 years of BSc degree, yes, 3 years of studying and 4th year for experiential learning and RAWE. But in this case, only for IRI and NDRI, if you have done 10 plus 2 plus 3 system also, then also you are eligible. But that is in case of BSc. However, you have to have a master degree in either of one of these subjects. इनमें से एक subject में master degree होना चाहिए, then only you are eligible. Fine. And also, minimum OGPA or the minimum marks is the eligibility examination required. That is, in a 10-point scale of OGPA for general, OBC, UPS and DWS category students, it should be 6.5. For SC, ST, PWD and third gender, it should be 5.50. Okay. If your university follows a different scale, that is 9 point or 8 point or 7 point, you can see it accordingly. Majorly, maximum universities follows this 10 point only. So in your master degree, minimum OGPA in your master degree should be 6.5 if you belong to these categories, and if you are SC, ST, PWD or third gender, you have to have 5.5. Okay, clear? I think until this it is clear. So how many students write this exam for soil science? How many students actually appear? So based on the data of 2025, that is the last year examination, this year examination has just happened and the results have not come out yet. So we don't know yet how many actually gave. But based on last year's data, it is 621. That is this examination I also appeared. I was one among the 621. So total 621 candidates appeared. All right. Then coming to the total number of seats, the total number of seats for PhD in 2025 was 92. 92 seats are there all over India across the ICAR systems. If you are doing it in any SIU or IRI or NDRI or IVRI anywhere in the ICAR system, total number of seat is 92. All right. This does not include the private college seats, only the seats that you can enter through this entrance, right? Total JRF is 16. Total JRF is 16 means these are the fellowship seats. All of you know, even for ICAR PG also, there are two types of fellowship. One is the called ICAR PG fellowship, that is 12,640 per month, and another is NTS fellowship, that is 5,000 per month. But in case of PhD, sadly there is no NTS fellowship. Okay, only there is JRF SRF fellowship, and about that also we will talk later. So total number of fellowship seats is only 16. Okay, out of that 13 comes under unreserved. For SC it is 2, for ST it is 1, and for PWD it is 1. You might be wondering where is OBC, where is EWS. For your information, for the fellowship seats, everything comes under your OBC, EWS and general category, everything comes under the UR seat. So you have to have your rank within the top 13. You have to have your rank within the top 13 to get a seat. Okay. Now there is a point in this. इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि 13 तक ही rank लाना है. Say there is any senior or someone who is just appearing, some mentor or someone from some other coaching, anyone is just appearing for the sake of the exam and he is not taking admission. Admission हो जाने के बाद, only after successful admission you will get the fellowship letter. उसमें you have to come within first 13. All right? उसमें you have to come within first 13. Then you will get your fellowship if you are UR, if you are OBC or EWS. In case of SC, you have to have your rank within top 2 category rank. For ST, only 1. For PWD also, only 1. Right? These are the fellowship seats. Okay. Now, what is the age limit? Indian nationals of at least 20 years of age as on 31/8/2026 are eligible to apply for the examination. No relaxation is permissible regarding the minimum age limit. This is the minimum age limit. For maximum age limit, there is no specification. You can be of any age. Okay. Now, what we are talking about, the scholarship. This is one of the most important things because we all know doing a PhD without a fellowship is extremely difficult. It is not possible also. हम नहीं कर सकते. So, what are the scholarships available? ये exam देने के बाद. So, ICR, SRF or JRF, it is called JRF, SRF fellowship, right? Which we were talking about in the last slide. This is the JRF, SRF fellowship. So, what is the amount of the fellowship? The amount of fellowship is rupees 37,000 per month for first and second year and rupees 42,000 per month for third year. All right. Contingency will be rupees 10,000 per year. This will be extra. This will be over and above your fellowship that you are already getting. ठीक है? This is the JRF and SRF fellowship. That is, this fellowship will cover these number of seats. All right. I think it is clear by now. Okay. In case of PhD, if you are entering in any college, any SAU without except IRI, this is the only fellowship that is available. In some other universities, like in case of BHU, there is some fellowship available that is 8,000 per month. Okay. If you are going to BCKV, there is also some fellowship available. That is college dependent and the value of that is usually very low. Mostly it is below 10,000. Kahi pe maybe it might be around 15-20,000. I am not aware of it. But majorly, this is the only fellowship that is available for you if you are not entering into IRI. But suppose a situation comes where you are entering into IRI, but you are not getting this fellowship. In that case, specifically IRI के बच्चों के लिए ICR IRI gives a special scholarship. उसका value है rupees 31,000 for the first and second year and rupees 35,000 for the third year, and the contingency amount is same, which will be over and above your fellowship. Okay, these are the fellowships available, and इसके साथ साथ there is a third type of fellowship also available जो हमने यहाँ पे list नहीं किया because it does not come under the domain of this exam. If you want to have UGC, that is University Grants Commission का fellowship, you have to qualify UGC NET JRF. ठीक है? UGC NET JRF fellowship is also available. For that, you have to qualify the UGC NET examination. That subject, usually for soil science students, the subject for UGC will be environmental sciences, or you can go for forestry also. For that also, we will write the fellowship amount. For UGC, you will get the fellowship amount of 37,000 per month for first and second year. All right. And 42,000 per month for third, fourth and fifth year. All right. So these two fellowship, as you can see, only the tenure is 3 years, but in case of UGC NET, it is of 5 years. Out of that 5 years, first 2 years will consist of 37,000 per month, and the next 3 years will consist of 42,000 per month. Another added advantage of this is you will get house rent allowance extra. You will get an extra HRA. This house rent allowance you will get over and above these fellowships. Okay, that if you are staying outside, you will get 30% of this. That is 30% of 37,000 comes around 11,100 rupees. So you will get extra 11,100 rupees. If you are in Delhi, if you are in a tier 1 city, you will get house rent allowance over and above this. Okay, this house rent allowance depends on the tier of the city. Say you are in Benares, then you will not get as much as Delhi. Delhi, Kolkata, these are tier 1 cities, then comes tier 2 cities, and then comes tier 3 cities. Us hisab se you will get this money. But this you will get. This money you will not get for this. Also, you will not get for this. Okay. So if you are coming for PhD and if you are currently doing your MSc, I strongly suggest you please go for UGC NET. Please qualify that. This fellowship is out of these three. This is the best. Next, this will be there, and ICAR IRI fellowship is also there. All right. And इसमें contingency भी है. The contingency amount is 12,000 per year. Okay. So lots of talks about fellowship, but it is very important. You know, fellowship is extremely important for PhD. Moving on. So for this PhD entrance, what are the type of questions that we can expect? I think all of you know by now, who are in the academics, who knows already. So assertion and reasoning type of question comes, right? In this, there will be two statements. One is labeled as assertion, one is labeled as R, that is the reason. So in assertion, there will be one statement. In reason, there will be one statement. And then you will be given four options where both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Then another option will be both A and R are correct, and R is not the correct explanation of A. And then the third and fourth option will be A is correct, R is wrong, A is wrong, R is correct, like that. So these type of questions are very tricky, and these type of questions are one of the most important questions that come in this exam, okay? And you will have definite difficulty for solving this type of questions because these are not direct questions, right? Then arranging options in correct sequence. Nowadays, this is probably the most favorite type of question for the examiners. They will give you A, B, C, D, E, and 5 to 6 options they will give you, and they will ask you to arrange it in the ascending order or the descending order. Okay, so you have to know everything to do that. Then direct multiple choice type of questions, these are very less proportion nowadays. This type of question used to come 5 to 6 years earlier. Nowadays, all of you know, ऐसे direct question तो almost आते ही नहीं. Maybe 3-4, if किस्मत अच्छा है तो 3-4 आ जाएगा. Otherwise, it's difficult. Then statement type of question, in this also, this is nothing but true false. You will get statement 1, you will get statement 2. Sometimes you might get statement 3 also, 4 also. Out of all those statements, you have to tell which is correct, which is wrong, which is incorrect, like that. This is also very difficult because you have to know each and every statement, and the options will be in such a way that usually you cannot apply elimination method. मतलब 5 statement है, उनमें से 2 मुझे surely पता है, लेकिन options ऐसे रहेगा कि उस 2 से नहीं हो पाएगा. You have to know at least 4 or 5 statements out of that. Okay, so this is also, this and this are the troublemakers in this exam. But don't worry, हम लोग पढ़ेंगे साथ में एकदम. It will not be that difficult. Yes, getting the rank will not be that difficult. Then finally, match the following. This will be easy, but majorly पहले के ज़माने में जो match the following आता था, those were mostly easy. If you know 1 or 2, it was done. Like these questions used to save a lot of time. But nowadays, इसमें भी difficulties है. You have to know all the options to get this correct. All right. So coming to the biggest question, how much marks or rank is required for getting into IRI? Why IRI? Because IRI is Indian Agricultural Research Institute, the premium institute of India, right? Where we are doing PhD now. I am a PhD scholar in the Division of Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry in IRI, ICAR IRI. So how much marks or rank is to be scored? This is one of the major questions. Yes, this is one of the major questions. So for this is the data of 2025, that is last year. Here you can see total number of seats was 17. Out of that, unreserved seats were 8, SC 3, ST 1, OBC 5, EWS 2, PWD 1 and UPS 1. UPS, that is underprivileged states. If you are from northeastern states, if you are from Leh, Ladakh, Kashmir, then you will have a UPS quota. For that, 1 is there, PWD 1 is there, EWS 2 is there, and so on. All right. So total 17 seats were there in the last year. This year, they have not released the seat matrix yet, but it might go up, it might go down. There is very less chance that it might go up because as far as the division is concerned, we are here, we know the story. So huge possibility is there, it might go down. Okay, so you can see if you belong to unreserved category, you have to have your rank within top 8. within top 8. So it is almost merciless. You have to be within top 8. In this year, it might be you have to be within top 6. All right? So you can understand the level of competition. Isme bhi, there is a big catch. I think all of you know by now, the problem of state quota, right? This time they have mentioned this state quota in the brochure of NTA already. पहले ये state quota mention होता था in the ICR counseling brochure. This year they have mentioned it already in the NTA examination brochure. क्या है ये state quota? State quota का मतलब है out of this UR seat, like यहाँ पे जितना भी seat है, for each category, the number of students from a single state should not be greater than 40%. Okay? Should not be greater than 40%. So आप लोगों का domicile certificate अभी बनाना होगा, because if you are going for your counseling, you have to provide your domicile certificate. जो भी आपका domicile state है, उस state से एक कैटेगरी में 40% से ज्यादा नहीं आ सकते. इसका मतलब क्या है? 8 सीट है UR कैटेगरी में. So what is the 40% of 8? It is 16 by 5. So it is 3.2, as you can see. 3.2 is a fraction. 3.2 seat तो नहीं हो सकता ना. You cannot cut a insan. So it is 3 seats. So out of these UR, 3 people can be from the same state. In soil science, this is a major problem with West Bengal. I myself am a victim of that. It does not mean कि next year में भी West Bengal से ही होगा. It might be from Rajasthan, it might be from UP. You never know कहाँ से होता है. Out of these 8 seats, if 3 people are already there who is from West Bengal, even if your rank is 4, you will not get IRI if you are from West Bengal. All right. Same in case of SC, ST, OBC. In case of SC, only 1. If one from Rajasthan say enters to this SC seat, then SC rank 2, SC rank 3, if they are from Rajasthan, they will not get IRI. Keep that in mind. State quota is a very important thing in case of ICR, which is prevalent for last all the years and many people have suffered for that. So इसके लिए हमें अलग से precaution लेना पड़ेगा. We have to be so sure that you might get a rank within top 8 and still not get into IRI just because of state quota. So you have to try to be the best. कोई भी doubt की गुंजाइश छोड़ना ही नहीं है. All right? कुछ भी नहीं छोड़ना है. You just have to be in the top. ऐसे जगह में रहना है कि वहां से you cannot be put out. All right? So I hope I am clear with the state quota and all the seats. So Indian Agricultural Research Institute में last bar, this was the scenario. So this I told what is the rank. So in case of marks की अगर बात करें, I can tell you the marks of 2025, the last year which I appeared. In that, the cutoff mark for general seat, okay, it was around 291. ठीक है? It was 291 for the UR seat. For SC, ST, OBC, I cannot tell you the exact data, but मान के चलिए 291. This was last year. अब ये कोई sacrosanct number नहीं हो सकता because every year the question difficulty differs, the question pattern differs. तो 2026 में क्या होगा वो अभी देखने लायक है. But last year this was the scenario. All right. And for OBC also it was mostly around 260, 270. उससे नीचे तो नहीं है. So you have to make a target of 280 plus. Majorly, you can say you are in the safe zone if you are having a score of 300 plus. ये जो भी अभी JRF देके ये देख रहे होंगे, उनको लग रहा होगा कि यार 300 plus तो बहुत ही आसान है, but the problem is this is not equal to JRF. JRF में 300 plus लाना सच में आसान है. 380, 390 तक marks चला जाता है. 400 plus भी is okay. But in case of SRF, it is not that easy because questions come in 3 different parts, part A, part B, part C. If you are very thorough with part C also, फिर भी part A और part B के लिए your rank might go back. So ज़्यादा marks score करना SRF में is a bit difficult because बहुत सारे negative होते हैं part B में, part A में, and also you cannot attempt all the questions. जैसे JRF में we can easily go for 109, 110, 112 questions, लेकिन SRF में ऐसा करना थोड़ा मुश्किल है, because part A is highly unpredictable. Part A में क्या आएगा, कैसे आएगा, you might never know. वहां पे मान लो 20 में से you are attempting only 10. So 10 क्वेश्चन वहां पे ऑलरेडी चला गया, एंड देन पार्ट बी तो बाकी है. पार्ट बी इज ऑल्सो नॉट योर सब्जेक्ट, इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ मेनी अदर सब्जेक्ट्स. वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. सो प्लीज बी अवेयर एंड कीप अ काइंड ऑफ माइंडसेट ऑफ इतना मार्क्स. ठीक है. देन व्हाट इज द सिलेबस अंडर सॉइल साइंस? तो पहला जो आता है सेक्शन ए आता है, दैट इज पार्ट ए. First 20 MCQs will be common to all the 72 specialized subjects for PhD. These questions assess the level of candidates' awareness about the environment and its application to the society. The questions are based on general knowledge in the domain of agriculture, animal husbandry, dairy, fishery, and allied sciences, including current events and matters of everyday observation and experience. यहाँ पे जितना हो सकता था हमने ऐड किया, बट इससे भी कुछ भी आ सकता है. पार्ट ए का कोई सिलेबस नहीं होता, वहां पे कुछ भी आ सकता है. इट कैन बी जियोग्राफी, इट कैन बी जियोपॉलिटिक्स, it can be the current affairs related to agriculture, not related to agriculture. It can be some schemes, it can be fishery, it can be dairy, poultry, cattle rearing, pig rearing. It can be anything. Part A is extremely unpredictable, and these 20 MCQs will be very crucial for deciding your rank, because yet these MCQ में there will be a huge gap, because these are so unpredictable. If it favors, like if you are so well versed with the general agriculture and all the current affairs and all, so there is a very good chance you will get 15 to 16 correct in this. And if you are getting that, you should be sure that you are getting a very good rank. Part A में बहुत ज़्यादा difference होता है, and Part A is hugely unpredictable. All right. Coming to section B, 50 MCQ will be from the core group, containing the specialized subject group opted by the candidate for pursuing PhD. हमारा कोर ग्रुप है सॉइल साइंस, दैट कम्स अंडर नेचुरल रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट 2. सो नेचुरल रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट 2 ग्रुप में और क्या क्या सब्जेक्ट आता है? एग्रोनॉमी, सॉइल साइंस, एग्रीकल्चरल केमिकल्स, वाटर साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. सो 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 subjects are there in natural resource management 2. In part B, questions will be set from all of these 4 subjects, and part B का जो questions है ये चारों सब्जेक्ट के लिए it will be the same. So a friend who is writing agronomy, a friend who is writing for water science, who is writing for agricultural chemicals, they will also have the same part B questions as you who is writing for soil science. This part B is the most important part in case of PhD entrance, because this is the major rank decider. Part A is also rank decider, लेकिन वो इतना unpredictable है, उसमें आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, उसमें you cannot take precautions. But for this, जिनका पार्ट बी जितना स्ट्रांग है, इफ यू आर वेरी वेल वर्स्ड विथ एग्रोनॉमी, केमिकल्स एंड वाटर साइंस, देन यू शुड बी श्योर यू आर गेटिंग अ वेरी गुड रैंक. बिकॉज जितने भी आपके कैंडिडेट्स कॉम्पिटिटर्स है, पार्ट सी में तो एवरीवन इज ऑलरेडी वेल वर्स्ड, बिकॉज दे हैव डन अ होल एमएससी मास्टर्स डिग्री इन दैट सब्जेक्ट. सॉइल साइंस में तो सारे मास्टर डिग्री करके एग्जाम लिख रहे. सो पार्ट सी में गेटिंग अ ह्यूज लीड इज ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल, बिकॉज whoever are your competitor, आप 50 में से 48 ठीक करोगे, आपका competitor 47 ठीक करेगा, someone will do 49. So यहाँ पे you cannot expect much difference. The rank decider will be section A and section B, majorly section B, because that is in your hands. How well you are thorough with this will decide how much rank you are getting. Whereas part A, that is based on your current affairs knowledge and how aware you are about the environment. I think it is clear what we are going to study. Now coming to the syllabus. The syllabus for part B, the syllabus cannot be written because उसका part B का कोई अलग से syllabus नहीं है. Part B में जो चारों subject का नाम है, in that 4 subject, whatever the core syllabus is there, anything can come from that. So all those 4 subjects, उनका जो पूरा syllabus है, that is the syllabus for part B. Part C के लिए soil science का core syllabus we'll discuss, and for part A also there is no syllabus. It will be current affairs, general agriculture, it can be anything. Okay, so we all know soil science, the first unit that comes everywhere is definitely pedology, that is related to soil genesis, soil classification, all of you know, it is the study of soil science, pedology from the genesis point of view. So it is the concept of land, soil science, composition of earth crust and its relation with soil, rocks, minerals, other soil forming materials. I think you have done your MSc already, whoever is appearing for this. So MSc में हम जो course पढ़ते हैं soil 504, the mineralogy of soil, that course covers this pedology very nicely. वहाँ पे बहुत सारा पढ़ाया जाता है. And you can see soil taxonomy, epipedon, diagnostic, subsurface horizon, pedons, land capability, LCC, crop suitability, fertility capability classification, nutrient indexing, study of soil, morphological study of soil, application of GPS, soil series, study of base maps, that is the soil survey, soil remote sensing, soils of India. So pedology consists of that. In your masters, this course is the major base for this. All right. Now coming to soil physics. Soil physics also, if you have done your masters, then you already know this is the course. This is also called soil physics only. So in soil physics, you have to study significance of soil physical properties, texture, Stokes law, textural class, soil structure, classification, aggregation, significance, soil consistency, bulk density, particle density of soil, significance and manipulation. Soil water is very, very important. Soil water is extremely important. All right. In case of soil water, you have to be very thorough because यहाँ से बहुत सारे question आता है and it is on the tougher side. It's a bit tough, है ना? So in soil water, you have to know about the retention and potential. Then soil moisture constants, very, very important. The movement of soil water, saturated and unsaturated flow, Darcy's law, extremely important. Hydraulic conductivity, infiltration, percolation, permeability, drainage and methods of determination of soil moisture, very important. Then thermal properties of soil, that is soil temperature. Then soil air composition, gaseous exchange processes, influence of soil temperature and air on plant growth. Soil physical constraints affecting crop production and their management strategies. Methods of soil particle analysis, particle size distribution, bulk and particle density, moisture constant. Then comes the part of soil erosion and soil conservation. It will have types, effects, rain erosivity and soil erodibility, runoff methods of measurement, factors management, soil conservation measures, characterization and evaluation of indicators, causes of land degradation, management of physical properties for preservation and all this. In the soil erosion part, you can see यहाँ से बहुत सारा question आता है. At least 2 or 3 questions will come and they will ask some mathematics, some problems also. So you have to be very thorough. All right, you have to be very thorough with this. Regarding pedology, we did not discuss the important parts. Actually, in pedology, you cannot single out anything as important because everything is important and everything is memory based. You have to study. You have to study lots of times, then only you will get to know this. Because epipedon, endopedon, कितनी बार भी पढ़ लो, अगर एग्जाम के पहले रिवाइज नहीं किया, it is bound to get wrong. Because so many intricacies are there, so many things are there. You have to constantly revise, constantly go on revising. All right? यहाँ पे actually सारा important है. And pedology से just like JRF, SRF में भी बहुत सारा question आता है, बहुत. And this time they will be more difficult. Like they will directly ask the properties of a epipedon, and if you are not thorough with the epipedons, you have to know each property. Then only you can answer the question, otherwise not. All right? Then coming to soil chemistry, this also I think all of you know. This comes with the course Soil 503. This is the base of your masters. It should cover this whole part. So it is chemical composition of soil, definitely. Then soil colloids, very, very important. Structure, composition, constitution of clay mineral, amorphous clay and other non-crystalline silicate mineral, oxide and hydroxide mineral, charge development on clays, extremely important. pH charge relation, extremely important again, pH charge relation. Then buffer capacity of soil, inorganic and organic colloids, very important. Surface charge characteristics, DDL, very, very, very important. At least 1 or 2 questions from DDL is pakka. You will definitely get at least 1 or 2 questions from diffuse double layer theories. Then zeta potential, soil organic matter fractionation, very, very important. यहाँ से question तो आता ही है. Then humus formation and theories, this also can attract question. Humus formation theories, charge जो theory है. Anyhow, we will not discuss. We are not in a class now. We'll discuss the syllabus only. Then clay organic interaction, cation exchange, hysteresis, definition, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus and ammonia fixation in soils and management aspects. This is a very, very important part. Soil chemistry में अगर आपका concept सही नहीं है, it might be very difficult in the examination. ठीक है? Soil chemistry का concept should be very thorough. All right? Then coming to soil fertility, this also I think all of you know. The course number is soil 502, soil fertility. This should be the base of your this part. In this, essential elements in plant nutrition, nutrient cycles in soil. If you want, you will get this syllabus everywhere. You will get this in our AgriAddict website also. You will get it in ICR website also, or you can take a screenshot also if you want to see the syllabus. But remember one thing, before attempting any examination, please be very thorough with the syllabus. Please, अगर possible है तो इसका एक प्रिंट आउट लेके paste it in front of your copy, in front of your book or anywhere. Seeing the syllabus is extremely important because जो examiner होता है उनके पास पहले syllabus पहुंचता है and from that syllabus only they will set the paper. So you should at least know what topics are there in your syllabus. ऐसे ही book उठा के पढ़ने लगे, there is no end of that, right? Because books are endless, knowledge is endless. You cannot gain everything. So you have to know the syllabus. You have to stick to the syllabus, okay? Then transformation and movement of nutrients, very important, extremely important. Nutrient cycles also very important. Then coming to manures and fertilizers. In this, while I was taking the marathon for the JRF this year only, in that I told fertilizers में JRF में थोड़ा सा easy है because processes नहीं आता. The processes are not in the syllabus. Processes of formation, the chemical reactions and कैसे form होता है fertilizer. But sadly, in case of SRF, that forms a huge chunk of questions. You have to read all the processes, all the synthesis processes, and you should be very thorough with it. And the problem is, वो सारे इतने similar है. If you are not revising it regularly, it will get mixed up in your mind. क्योंकि इतने सारे processes हैं, ठीक है? So you have to be very thorough. Then fate and reaction of fertilizer in soil, very important. Slow release fertilizer and nitrification retarders, very important. Soil fertility evaluation, extremely important. Soil fertility evaluation बहुत ही ज़्यादा important है. यहाँ से बहुत सारा question आता है, ठीक? Then concepts and approaches, FCO, soil fertility evaluation, soil testing, plant tissue tests and biological method. Common soil test method for fertilizer recommendation, very important. Nutrient management concepts, INM, IPNS, SSNM, all are very important. Whatever is written in this syllabus is extremely important, especially from soil fertility, क्योंकि fertility से बहुत ज़्यादा question आता है. Every time fertility will attract a large chunk of questions, and in that you will have to be very thorough. All right. Then soil test, crop response correlation, fertilizer application methods, NUV, macro, micronutrients, nature, properties and development of acid sulfate, saline and alkali soils and their management. Then lime and gypsum requirements of soil, irrigation water quality, very important. Irrigation water quality, यहाँ से question आते हैं. EC, SAR, RSC. Fertility status of soils of India, pollution types, causes, management, carbon sequestration and carbon trading. This is a new topic which has been put in your syllabus, so you should know that. Then modern methods of soil, plant and fertilizer analysis. This is very important. Methods of soil and fertilizer analysis, that is your analytical chemistry. जिन्होंने अपने MSc में वो जो laboratory का जो course है, right? Not that basic course, that is PGS, वो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. Soil का जो course है, I think it was soil 515 as far as I remember. That is the testing, analysis of plant and soil and fertilizers. That course is extremely important. वो अगर आपने नहीं किया है अपने MSc में, this part you should be very thorough. यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा pressure देना है, बहुत ज़्यादा emphasis देना है. This modern methods of soil, plant and fertilizer analysis, this is extremely important and fetches at least 4 to 5 questions both in part B and part C. सिर्फ part C में नहीं, part C में तो आएगा ही, वहाँ पे इंडिकेटर का एकदम थ्योरी से क्वेश्चन आएगा, लेकिन पार्ट बी में भी आएगा कि इसके लिए कौन सा रिएजेंट यूज होता है. सो दिस पार्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आपने वो कोर्स किया है, दिस विल बी अ बिट इजी फॉर यू. अगर नहीं किया है, सो आई वुड सजेस्ट यू स्टार्ट रीडिंग दिस पार्ट वेरी थॉरोली. In our course that we are offering in through AgriAddict Academy, I will be taking that specially, and this is one of my most favorite portions. So I think you will enjoy learning it. You know, जो master course में हम करेंगे. Anyhow. So flame photometry and inductively coupled plasma, optical emission spectrometry, spectrophotometry, visible, UV, infrared, atomic absorption, potentiometry, conductometry, X-ray diffractometry and mass spectrometry. All these instruments, सबका principle जानना बहुत जरूरी है, और वो principle हम लोग बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, बहुत अच्छे से सीखेंगे. So I would be waiting, you know, to meet you there. These parts are very important and you will not get much what to say, much course or much teachers भी उतने अच्छे से ये नहीं कराते हैं, उनके पास उतना टाइम नहीं होता है, they are usually very busy. For this you need very basic understanding of physics and chemistry also that we will touch in our course, है ना? Then coming to soil microbiology, this also I think all of you know. This course was Soil 506. All these are core courses only. If you have done your masters, it is damn sure you have done all these courses already. So soil microbiology is fine. Soil biota, soil microbial ecology, types of organisms, soil microbial biomass, very important. Microbial interactions, extremely important. Unculturable soil biota, microbiology and biochemistry of root soil interface, that is the rhizosphere. Then phylosphere is also there. Soil enzymes, very, very important. Origin, activities and importance. Soil characteristics influencing growth and activity of microflora. Microbial transformation of ANP, K, S, Fe, Zn. Very, very, very important. यहाँ से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आता है. Too many questions come from this. Okay. Then biochemical composition and biodegradation of soil organic matter and crop residue, humus formation, cycle of important organic nutrients, biodegradation of pesticide, organic waste, and they are used for production of biogas and manure. Biofertilizers, very important. Definition, classification, specification, method of production, and role in crop production. Okay. This is also there. And then finally coming to the last unit, that is statistics. Because if you are already a master's, if you are already a postgraduate, it is expected from you that you will have a knowledge, working knowledge of statistics, because आपने already आपका thesis लिख लिया है. Thesis लिखा है मतलब उसमें you have done your statistical analysis. तो statistics is there and statistics से question आता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ syllabus में है, question नहीं आ रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है. Statistics से question आता है. So in that experimental design for pot culture, again, I think you have read this course, Stat 511, that is the design of experiments, yes, and field experiment, then statistical measure of central tendency and dispersion. This is also in that basic course. This you have read in your UG also. PG में भी जो statistics का basic course है 501, that also covers all this. Then correlation, regression, very, very, very important. I remember in my time 2 questions came only from correlation. ठीक है? In the previous year also questions come. So correlation, regression, and this central tendency and dispersion, very important. We will touch these parts also in our course. I doubt these things will be taught anywhere else or any other जहाँ पे भी आप पढ़ोगे या जहाँ पे भी course वगैरह लोगे. So this is also very important, which we will touch, and we will bring expert faculties also. Majorly I will only handle this. ठीक है? So that will also be a good one. Then tests of significance, T and F test, computer use in soil research and geostatistics. In Agri-Addict Academy, I think you already know the plant science faculty and all the other faculty, these are very strong. So it is natural to say all of the senior faculty members and the senior mentors, they are very well versed with statistics. So अगर आप लोगों को लगता है कि मेरे से नहीं हो पा रहा है, so we will call other mentors also, so don't worry. Statistics, we will have to keep it very strong. We will make it very strong and make it very easy for you. We will just give the basic fundamental ideas and you will never have a question wrong. Trust me on this. All right. So अब तक हमने complete किया ICAR PhD entrance का. ICAR PhD entrance has been done. Now we are coming to the ASRB NET exam. So we are doing it in a single video because almost 99% of the syllabus is coinciding. Same. एकदम same है. अब तक हमने जो जो पढ़ के आया सिलेबस में, ASRB नेट के सिलेबस में भी वो सब है, along with some addition, वो एडिशन के बारे में हम बात करेंगे. So coming to the pattern of ASRB NET exam, what is this ASRB NET exam का pattern? This is also a land-based CBT, that is computer-based test, same as SRF, same thing. Time duration is 2 hours, this is also the same, but the problem is number of question is 150. 150 in 2 hours. So for each question, you are getting less than 1 minute. ठीक है? उस हिसाब से this might be a bit tricky on the time because पहले क्या होता था? पहले ASRB नेट में they used to give all direct and straight question. Just like I will give you one example कि the concept of pH was developed by answer is Sorensen. ये करने में it will take 2 seconds, maybe 5 seconds max. 5 seconds में you can answer this and go on. But the problem is from the last year, again the same story. In this also, they have changed the pattern and they are asking statement-based question and assessment reasoning. For statement-based question, statement पढ़ने में ही तो समय लगता है, उसमें ही तो time लगता है. How can you solve it in less than 1 minute? Statement पढ़ने में ही तो 1 minute जाएगा. फिर सोचना पड़ेगा, फिर you have to deduce the answer. लेकिन यहाँ पे समय दे रहा है 1 मिनट से कम, बट दे आर गिविंग स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, दे आर गिविंग एसेप्शन रीजनिंग, दे आर गिविंग ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ ट्रू फॉल्स, अरेंज करो, सीक्वेंस में डालो, ये करो वो करो. सो this is a bit of a problem because 150 question in 2 hours is a bit of problem. SRF में generally time का constant नहीं आता है. 120 question for 2 hours is usually enough, and for part A you don't take much time because part A में ज्यादा deduce करने का कुछ नहीं, वहां पे problems नहीं आता, वहां पे statements नहीं आता. Generally those are direct question. अगर आपको पता है, नहीं पता है तो छोड़ो और आगे बढ़ो. यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है. You have to do mathematics, you have to do something. So bit of a problem. Then again, type of question is multiple choice with 4 options and only one single option is correct. यहाँ पे भी कोई 2 option, multiple option, 4 option कुछ correct नहीं है. Only single option is correct. Maximum marks is 150. So 150 maximum marks का क्या मतलब है? 1 mark for each correct response. You will get +1. Then -1/3 mark, that is -0.33 for each incorrect response, that is negative scoring, and 0 for non-attempt. All of you know this. But यहाँ पे if you get fraction, if you get, say, if your score is 110.63, your score will be 110.63. It will not be made to the nearest fraction, और वो 111 नहीं माना जाएगा, कुछ नहीं माना जाएगा. It will be this, exactly this score. ठीक है? And the medium of paper, here you are getting 2 choices. It will be bilingual, English and Hindi. So whatever question is there in English, उसी के नीचे same question हिंदी में भी लिखा रहता है. So you can cross check, or if you are well versed in Hindi, फिर तो आपके लिए बहुत आसान है. And the options also English में रहता है, उसी के नीचे हिंदी में भी रहता है. So this is bilingual. ठीक है? Then eligibility for ASRB NET, this is the last year's notification. इस year का अभी तक आया नहीं है, आने के बाद we will update it. So eligibility is also minimum age is 21 years as on 1st January 2025 because the exam happened on 2025. So 1st January 2025 के हिसाब से it should be minimum 21 years. There is no upper age limit for the NET. Upper age limit में कोई बात नहीं है. And educational qualification must possess a master's degree or equivalent in the concerned discipline as prescribed, which we will talk about. Completed on or before 30 September. This date is very important. This date is notified every year in the notification. This is last year's notification. उसमें आया था 30 September के पहले अगर डिग्री हुआ है, then only you are eligible. अगर मास्टर डिग्री आपके पास 30 सितंबर के पहले नहीं हुआ है तो you are not eligible. Even if you are getting a score, if you are getting a mark, you are getting a rank, that NET certificate is not eligible. You cannot use it anywhere. ठीक है? Then additional syllabus for ASRB NET exam, which I was emphasizing very hugely in the SRF exam. वो अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे तो एक अलग यूनिट बना दिया गया है, only analytical chemistry in soil. This is not a alag unit in SRF, but this has been put a different unit in case of ASRB NET. यहाँ पे क्या है? Concept of chemical analysis, solution reaction, titrimetric analysis, concept of standard solution, indicator theory and application, methods of soil analysis, particle size distribution, BD and PD, moisture constant, modern methods of soil plant and fertilizer analysis, instruments like flame photometer, inductively coupled plasma optical emission spectroscopy, that is ICP-OES. Yes. Then spectrophotometry, visible, ultraviolet and infrared, atomic absorption spectrophotometry, that is AAS, then potentiometry and conductimetry, X-ray diffractometry, mass spectrometry, Geiger-Müller counter, solid and liquid scintillation counter. Last 2 are used for measurement of radioactivity. है ना? This one, I can promise you, we will take extremely good care of this part, and this part we will go very deep and we will learn all the principles. Once you know the principles of all the instruments, it will be very easy for you to understand क्यों ये reagent use होता है, क्यों ऐसे होता है, क्यों वो होता है. इसमें हमें problem क्या होता है? What is the problem we face? While we were studying, we also faced the same because हमें समझ में नहीं आता था principle क्या है, क्या क्यों ये use करते हैं. इसीलिए we had to memorize, and memorizing power of our brain is limited. So जाहिर सी बात है नहीं हो पाता था. If you are remembering some gel डाल के लिए you are remembering some reagent KMnO4 and you are applying it in phosphorus, ऐसा हो जाता था. phosphorus में ascorbic acid है, उसको हम सल्फर में ले जाके ascorbic acid कर रहे हैं because हमें पता नहीं है क्यों यूज होता है. जब ये पता हो जाएगा कि ascorbic acid phosphorus में क्यों चाहिए, क्यों रिडक्शन के लिए वो चाहिए, why ammonium molybdate is required, जेल डाल में why you need alkaline, जेल डाल एनालिसिस में NaOH का क्या जरूरत है, why it is alkaline potassium permanganate. पोटेशियम परमैंगनेट क्या करता है, फिर जो ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन है वाकलियन ब्लैक मेथड उसमें K2Cr2O7, why back titration, H2SO4 का क्या रोल है, H3PO4 that is phosphoric acid का क्या रोल है, all these things once you understand, उसके बाद it will be very easy for you. You can just read once and you will be good to go. All right. Then minimum qualifying marks, here you can see for qualifying the net, minimum qualifying marks for unreserved is 50%, that is you have to get 75 out of 150. Then for EWS OBC, that is 45%, you have to get 67.5 at least, and for SC ST it will be 60 out of 150. So if you are getting this much marks in ASRB net, you will not get any rank or anything. If you are getting this much marks or more than this, you are already qualified. You will get your net certificate. All right. Then what is the benefits of clearing ASRB net? हम इतना ASRB net क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्या होता है इससे? So eligibility for assistant professorship. If you are applying for assistant professor anywhere in India, I think all of you know, you need a net eligibility. So UGC का हमने बात किया. If you are having UGC net, तो you can apply for those जहाँ पे मान लो environmental science का vacancy आया, in that you can apply. But for agriculture उसका तो अलग से net नहीं होता. So for going into SAUs, for going into हाँ SAUs में ही हो सकता है, only state agricultural universities जहाँ पे मान लीजिए soil science के लिए vacancy आया. In that you are only eligible to apply if you have a valid ASRB net score. That is, if you are an unreserved candidate, you had to have qualified ASRB net with more than 75 marks, more than 50% marks. Okay, only then you are eligible to apply for assistant professorship. This is not an entrance test. ये टेस्ट देके डायरेक्टली आप असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर नहीं बनेंगे, लेकिन इसको क्लियर करके जो नेट सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा उसके आधार पे ओनली यू कैन अप्लाई. If you don't have a valid net certificate, you cannot apply for assistant professorship in India. ठीक है. बाहर के जो outside ICR system जो colleges है, वहाँ पे भी ASRB net has been like they also take it, they also acknowledge it. So मान लीजिए कैलकाटा यूनिवर्सिटी में जैसे सॉइल साइंस का डिवीजन है, वहाँ पे आपको अप्लाई करना है तो ASRB नेट का क्वालिफिकेशन आपके पास होना चाहिए. यूजीसी नेट का आपके पास अगर मान लीजिए EVS का क्वालिफिकेशन है तो कभी सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी में EVS का वैकेंसी आया तभी आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. अगर आपके पास यूजीसी नेट नहीं है तो उसमें आप नहीं कर सकते. सिमिलरली ASRB नेट का भी सेम, सॉइल साइंस का वैकेंसी मान लीजिए EVS बेंगलोर में आया, वहां पे अप्लाई करने के लिए आप एलिजिबल है ओनली यू हैव इफ यू हैव अ ASRB नेट. ठीक है. This is the first benefit. Second, it is the foundational step for ICR, ARS, SMS and STO recruitment. These three, Agricultural Research Service, Subject Matter Specialist and Senior Technical Officer, ये तीनों recruitment के लिए जो prelims होता है, that prelims is this ASRB net only. So all these three recruitments are 3-tier exam. इसमें एक tier 1 होता है, एक tier 2 होता है, एक tier 3 होता है. The tier 1 is common, that is the ASRB net. इसके बाद tier 2 में you have to write mains which is descriptive, like UPSC में जो mains होता है वैसा you have to write questions that is descriptive, and tier 3 is personal interview. So this is the foundation for these recruitments. आपको इसमें अच्छे मार्क्स लाना है. Since these three are competitive, इसमें आपको 50% से ही आपको एंट्री नहीं मिलेगा. इसमें जितना सीट आएगा उसके हिसाब से based on your rank you will get the entry into these recruitments. All right. Then competitive advantage for SRF, RA and YP positions. आपको पता होगा बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में एंड इंस्टीट्यूट्स में IRI एंड CRRI whatever इंस्टीट्यूट वहां पे SRF, RA और YP का एडवर्टाइजमेंट निकालते हैं. यंग प्रोफेशनल, रिसर्च एसोसिएट एंड सीनियर रिसर्च फेलो. सो ये सारे जगह में जब आप अप्लाई करोगे इंटरव्यू के लिए तो इफ यू हैव अ वैलिड नेट सर्टिफिकेट, दिस यू विल गेट अ वेरी कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज एंड एज. इसका अलग से मार्क्स होता है. असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसरशिप में भी मार्क्स होता है, ये सारे चीज में भी इसका अलग से मार्क्स होता है. एंड इन सम इंस्टीट्यूट्स लाइक CRRI, if you do not have a valid net certificate, they will not let you sit for the interview only. इंटरव्यू के लिए ही आप एलिजिबल नहीं हो अगर आपके पास नेट नहीं है तो. ठीक है. Then enhance credibility for grant acquisition and publishing. Say you are writing some research project, you are publishing your papers to some journal. If you are mentioning that in your CV, this is a huge boost. If you have already qualified that is a huge boost. All right. So then finally coming to the books for the ICR PhD exam. So for part A, for general agriculture, you have to have Fundamentals of Agriculture by Arun Kattan sir. There are 2 volumes. These are highly explained and highly detailed general agriculture book. So you can read that. And then this is like the original gangster of all agriculture books. I think all of you know this. Nimraj Sunda, this also. And then finally, S.R. Kantwa. This is also very good book. And this Essentials of Agriculture by Narayan sir. This is also a good one. So जनरल एग्रीकल्चर जो पार्ट ए है उसके लिए मैं तो यही बोलूंगा कि ज्यादा समय उसमें मत दीजिए, बिकॉज दैट इज वेरी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल एंड more at most you can denote say half an hour per day, that too 2 months before exam. तब से आप अगर दिन के half an hour या उससे भी कम देंगे, that is fine. Do not waste much time into this because this is highly unpredictable. मान लीजिए आपने ये सारा किताब खत्म कर दिया और बहुत ह्यूज चांसेस है कि उस सारे में से 2 क्वेश्चन आया, बाकी 18 क्वेश्चन केम टोटली फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. ठीक है, कोई पीआईबी का कुछ प्रेस नोट से आ गया, कहीं से आईसीआर का अचीवमेंट्स, कुछ गवर्नमेंट का अचीवमेंट्स वहां से आ गया, सो कोई मतलब नहीं है ये पढ़ के. सो डू नॉट वेस्ट मच टाइम फॉर पार्ट ए. ठीक है. देन कमिंग टू बेसिक बुक्स फॉर सॉइल साइंस, आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ यू नो these books are like the foundation of soil science for all of us. हम लोग एकदम यूजी से इसको स्टार्ट करते हैं and it will go on until the last of your life if you are going into academics with soil science. ये तो पढ़ते ही रहना है. This is Soil Science and Introduction to 2015 by ISSS, Indian Society of Soil Science, and this is Fundamentals of Soil Science 2009 edition by Indian Society of Soil Science. This is very detailed, very good and basic foundation book for JRF. इसको यूजी में पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है and इसको भी पढ़ना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. This is more detailed and more explained. This is a bit tougher side, but this book has been written very lucidly and very easily also. तो आप इससे स्टार्ट करके के भी इससे आ सकते हैं, लेकिन हम लोगों ने इससे स्टार्ट करके पहले इसको खत्म करके फिर इसमें आया था. So this was very easy for us, but you have to read these 2 books and there is no other way. And this third book, I think all of you know, Soil Science Treatise by Etilla Satyanarayan. This book is also like the concise version of these 2 books only. So ये दोनों का concise इसमें है, but never ever start with this book. पहले आप आपका बेसिक बनाइए, उसके बाद ही इसमें आइए just for revision, because ये टेक्स्ट बुक से यहाँ से रिविजन थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है. बट पहले आप इससे स्टार्ट करोगे तो आपका कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्डिंग में प्रॉब्लम होगा, बिकॉज दिस इज अ ट्रीटाइज. ट्रीटाइज इज अ स्मॉल बुक, दिस इज अ कॉन्साइज समरी. तो समरी से कॉन्सेप्ट समझना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है. ठीक है. आफ्टर यू कंप्लीट दिस 2, देन दिस इज अ वेरी गुड बुक, लेकिन इससे प्लीज स्टार्ट मत कीजिए. ठीक है. देन फॉर पार्ट बी, कोर ग्रुप, यस, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और इसमें ये जो किताब है, दिस इज लाइक द बाइबल, द गीता, द कुरान, एवरीथिंग. This book is very, very important. Agronomy Facts for Competition by Dr. R.S. Meena from BHU. ये किताब से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं एंड ये किताब आपको एकदम लाइन टू लाइन, वर्ड टू वर्ड पढ़ना है. पार्ट बी के प्रिपरेशन के लिए इससे अच्छा किताब हो ही नहीं सकता, मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूँ. Then for agricultural chemicals, Objective Agricultural Chemicals by Orkodev Mukhopadhyay and Shubhashish Sarkar. Both are from IRI. Now they are ARS. This is also very important क्योंकि हमारे पास उतना टाइम नहीं रहता है कि हम MSc में आके एग्रीकल्चरल केमिकल्स का टेक्स्ट बुक पढ़ेंगे. यू कैन इफ यू वांट, प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ पेस्टिसाइड केमिस्ट्री, बहुत सारी किताबें बाय डॉक्टर हांडा, वो आप पढ़ सकते हैं, लेकिन उसका 2 वॉल्यूम है. दैट इज ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल क्योंकि MSc में वी आर ऑलरेडी ऑक्युपाइड विद सो मेनी थिंग्स. थीसिस लिखना है, रिसर्च करना है, लैब में जाना है, फील्ड में जाना है. उसके बाद अगर हम टेक्स्ट बुक ऑफ एग्रीकल्चरल केमिकल्स लेके बैठे फिर तो. So this is the Objective Agricultural Chemicals. This is a very, very, very good book for agricultural chemicals. यहाँ से पार्ट बी में डायरेक्ट लाइन उठा के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, डायरेक्ट वर्ड उठा के क्वेश्चन आते हैं. This is also highly recommended. Okay, and then for water science, you can go with Land and Water Management Engineering by Dr. VVN Murthy. इसका एक और है Irrigation Management. Another book is there by Dr. A.M. Michael. But that is उतना आप इसमें डीप जाने का जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज वाटर साइंस का भी मेजर पोर्शन इज कवर्ड बाय डॉक्टर आर.एस. मीना's बुक ओनली. ठीक है. फिर भी जस्ट फॉर द आइसिंग ऑन द केक यू कैन कंसल्ट दिस 2 बुक्स. ये भी टेक्स्ट बुक है, लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पढ़ सकते हैं, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स आर नोन टू यू. एग्रीकल्चरल केमिकल्स इज लाइक अ डिफरेंट डोमेन, क्योंकि उसमें पेस्टिसाइड का स्ट्रक्चर है, क्रोमेटोग्राफी का बहुत सारे प्रिंसिपल है, उसको पढ़ना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है. ठीक है. देन फॉर पार्ट सी, सॉइल साइंस, ये दोनों के बारे में हम ऑलरेडी बहुत डिटेल में बात कर चुके हैं. दिस इज एनवायरमेंटल सॉइल फिजिक्स बाय डैनियल हिल्लेल. अभी जेआरएफ से छोड़ के हम एसआरएफ की ओर जा रहे हैं, तो थोड़ा सा एडवांस तो होना पड़ेगा. सम कॉन्सेप्ट्स, नॉट द होल बुक, please don't get me wrong, not the whole book. Some concepts are written very nicely in this book, written by Daniel Hillel, the father of soil physics. तो एनवायरमेंटल सॉइल फिजिक्स उनका लेटेस्ट पब्लिकेशन है. पहले जो बुक है उनका नाम है फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ सॉइल फिजिक्स. आप वो भी पढ़ सकते हैं, बट दिस वन इज वेरी गुड. इसमें कुछ चीजें इतना अच्छे से है, कुछ फिगर्स डायग्राम्स इतना अच्छा है, you have to consult that. Then fertility, soil fertility and fertilizers by Havlin and Tisdale. This book is very 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 important for the soil fertility part. ये बुक इतना अच्छा है, इतना अच्छे से इसमें लिखा गया है, इतना लूसिड लैंग्वेज में लिखा गया है, इट इज वेरी नाइस. आप एक बार देखेंगे इसको, बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. दिस बुक ऑल्सो इज हाईली रिकमेंडेड. एंड देन दिस बुक इज द रियल ओजी, यू नो, like we say nowadays. This book is the most important book that has been listed here, Soil Analysis by ISSS, Indian Society of Soil Science. ये नया किताब है, just कुछ साल हुआ है आया है मार्केट में. From this book directly line उठा के जो एनालिसिस का क्वेश्चन है वो आते हैं. We will follow this book in our course that we will do in this year for SRB and PhD. This book वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आपके पास नहीं है, आई स्ट्रांगली रिकमेंड इसको आप खरीद लीजिए. बाहर से खरीदना में भी थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा. उषा बुक स्टोर है, वहां से आप खरीद लीजिए. वहां पे आप व्हाट्सएप कीजिए, फोन कीजिए, कुछ भी करके. दिस बुक इज वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड देन फॉर द फर्टिलाइजर एंड मैन्योर, आई टोल्ड, अभी जेआरएफ के जैसा जस्ट पढ़ के नहीं होगा. यू हैव टू गो डीप. फॉर दैट, टेक्स्ट बुक ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर्स बाय डॉक्टर DR বিশ্বাস. दिस बुक इज ऑल्सो रिकमेंडेड. यहाँ से भी there are instances of questions coming directly line उठा के, along with the punctuations and prepositions, everything. पूरा line उठा के question आता है. So all these 4 books एकदम line उठा के question आता है. And these 2 books are highly recommended for developing your concept. पूरा किताब नहीं पढ़ना है. Please don't get me wrong. Please don't get afraid. पूरा किताब नहीं पढ़ना है. Only selected parts which we will discuss in our course. कहाँ से वो अच्छा है, and your concept will be very clear once you read that. है ना? एंड ये सारे किताब, स्पेशली द फॉरेन वंस, इनके पीडीएफ्स अवेलेबल है. हमारे पास भी अवेलेबल है, बहुत सारे जगह में अवेलेबल है. सो यू कैन गेट दैट ऑल्सो एंड यू कैन स्टडी, नॉट नेसेसरी टू बाई. ठीक है. एंड देन फॉर सॉइल साइंस, दिस बुक इज ऑल्सो वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस बुक इज हाईली रिकमेंडेड, रिटन बाय डॉक्टर SC दत्ता, द लिविंग लेजेंड, द ऑलमोस्ट द कॉल्ड द गॉड ऑफ सॉइल केमिस्ट्री. इनका जो टेक्स्ट बुक ऑफ फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री एंड मिनरोलॉजी ऑफ सॉइल, आई थिंक इफ यू हैव डन योर MSc, probably your teacher has also suggested to buy this book. This book is very important for developing your concepts in chemistry. ठीक है. Now coming to the higher level books, Mineral Nutrition of Higher Plants by Marshner, very important for mineral nutrition part. You can consult. And then Nature and Properties of Soil. This is like the first granth of soil science, Nature and Properties of Soil by Brady and Well. This is also the graphs, the charts, the figures. We have already made PDFs of those things, and we have already made compilation of the important charts and figures. जहाँ से question directly आते हैं. They will give you the graph and they will ask you कि इसका क्या मतलब है. वो ग्राफ में भी ISSS में नहीं है. For that, you have to consult this. इसके compilation already हमारे पास है, जो important parts है. We will share those in the due course of time in the course. And then Principles of Soil Chemistry by Kim H. Tan. This also I think your teacher might have suggested. इसमें भी पूरा किताब नहीं पढ़ना है, but some things like zeta potential, then double layer theory, and 0 point of charge, all these things are very good in this book. इसमें भी क्या important है, we will tell that. वो part यहाँ से पढ़ना है. इसका भी PDFs available है. Do not get worried. So we will just go through those. All right. And then for statistics, this is the only book that is available, I think. इसको छोड़ के तो ज़्यादा deep में जाने का कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. So this is a textbook of agricultural statistics by R. Rangaswamy. He was from TNAU. Okay, so future prospects, I think all of you know. ASRB NET से क्या होगा, PhD करके क्या होगा, क्यों करना है PhD? If you want to stay in academics, ARS is the most lucrative option. Then assistant professor is the second one. Then research and development in ICR, CSIR, government and private labs. Recruitment at Central Silk Board, Rubber Board and other government institutes like the Coffee Board, Tea Board. बहुत सारे opportunities आपके सामने है. ठीक है. और अगर आप MSc तक आ ही गए हैं तो I would strongly recommend you कि please go for PhD because you will enhance your qualification by a lot and you will have more prospects of entering into these things. Then finally coming to the course which we will be having this time. So here you can see ASRB NET plus ICR PhD we are doing a common course. This will be together. ठीक है, इसका जो price होगा, the price of this will be 1000 more than the only PhD course. See, here you can see if you are taking only the PhD course or only the ASRB course, for that the validity of those courses will be only up to the day of the exam, that is the July. If you are taking both the courses combined, you will have to pay only 1000 more, and for that you will get a validity of 365 days. So if this year's NET somehow you are missing, you can go on for the next years also. लेकिन अगर आप एक ही कोर्स ले रहे हैं तो वो एग्जाम जिस दिन होगा उसके बाद उसका वैलिडिटी चला जाएगा, and you will lose access to all your notes and everything. And what we will provide in this, so we will have the exams, the mock tests definitely, then the soil science test series for ICR PhD. पैटर्न अलग है तो दोनों अलग से लिखा गया है, ASRB NET pattern and ICR PhD pattern. Then the soil science topics which are common with the JRF and SRF, ठीक है. Then the advanced topics of soil science which are exclusive for the PhD portion, those will be exclusively covered by me and we will discuss those. इसके साथ साथ पार्ट बी के लिए we have very good agronomy faculty, निखिल सर, उनका भी एग्रोनॉमी का सारा एडवांस टॉपिक्स एंड उनका भी एग्रोनॉमी का रिकॉर्डेड बैच, दैट इज द पीजी का जो नॉर्मल टॉपिक्स है, एंड अलोंग विद दैट एग्रोनॉमी के क्वेश्चंस भी you will get to practice, and along with all these you will get free general agriculture course and mock test that will be conducted by Hari sir. Okay, all of you know Hari sir, I think. So you will get all of these things in this course, that is this combined course, and also you can take individual as per your as per your wish, and also the test series also you can buy individually. You can see the price already mentioned here. So for the PhD, if you are taking it alone, like only a single course you are taking, the price is 5999. All right, 5999. And if you are taking both the courses combined, the price is 7999. In this you will get all those both type of exam questions and also the teachings and also the extra mock test. And the major thing is iska validity will be full 365 days. So somehow if you are missing this years also, you can go on reading that, you can go on using that for the next year as well. All right. Upon this, I also think there is some discount available in the website. You will find some codes. With that, you will get some instant 1000 or something discount. So you can visit our website and you can see. And also, please like this video and you can subscribe our YouTube channel. If you have any doubt, if you have any query, any question, you can drop in the comment section, and also you can contact to this number. All right, this is the student helpline number of AgriAddict. You can contact to this number, you can call, you can put a WhatsApp, you can do text, anything you like until the office hours, of course. Do not do it at 12 o'clock at night, definitely not. So you can contact there, and also you can put any query in the comment, and anything you would like to add, हम और क्या add कर सकते हैं इसमें, anything you want, you can put that there. And all right, thank you. Please subscribe to our channel and अच्छे से पढ़िए, like have a blast, have a good preparation, and we will see you, right? Good luck.